What if events had unfolded differently? What if Wolverine was in Avengers Endgame? What if Logan himself was in the MCU? How would this affect the MCU timeline as a whole? Without wasting any more time, let's dive right into this highly requested Marvel's What If. In our fanfic timeline, we will be using the events from the Wolverine 2013 movie as a continuation, as the Logan timeline is a splintered timeline from the original X-Men series. We will focus on the events after Logan was in Japan with Mariko and Yukio. After Logan decided to travel the world with Yukio, he eventually left Yukio and traveled back to the States. The events of Days of Future Past and the 2017 Logan movie would not happen in this timeline. Logan would then constantly think of Mariko and Yukio. However, in the 2018 timeline in the MCU, Thanos performed the snap. As Logan didn't perish during the blip, he realized that something was amiss with the world. He saw that people started vanishing. He tried to contact Mariko and Yukio, but nobody picked up the phone. It turns out that they were also vanished during the blip. Logan was devastated and he tried to search for answers on what happened, but to no avail. Eventually, the Avengers found Thanos and Thor beheaded him. Wolverine, being a Lone Ranger, doesn't know what happened and became his past drunken self as how he was back in the beginning of the 2013 movie. 5 years later, Scott would return from the quantum realm, and Logan, meanwhile, was on the streets of New York City. He learned about the existence of the Avengers and the blip by Thanos and the failure of the Avengers to defeat Thanos. He bears a grudge against the Avengers as he had originally lost Jean Grey and now Mariko and Yukio. Being devastated, he flew to New York City, where he spent the last few years searching for the Avengers. However, he is not the man he used to be. Drunk and constantly looking for a brawl, Logan eventually settled to the streets. One night, after Steve attended a therapy session with one other member, he stumbled across Logan, who was lying on the streets. At first, Steve dismissed Logan as a nobody, but Logan recognized Steve as Captain America and started attacking him. The drunken Logan was easily defeated by Cap. Cap saw for the first time of Logan's claws. He was puzzled as he never knew the existence of mutants. Logan then explained to him about how mutants were hiding all these years, and all of his mutant friends were vanished in the blip, including his loved ones. That left Logan the only mutant in the world. Cap felt sorry for Logan and said that the Avengers also lost a lot on their side. He asked Logan if he was interested in joining the remaining of the Avengers. Logan said that he tried being a hero and he just wanted to meet Mariko one last time. Steve then gave Logan his contact and told him to call him should he change his mind. Scott would appear in the original timeline just like Endgame, and they would travel to meet Tony Stark, who was happy with his family. All of the events of Endgame would be the same in the original timeline. Logan decided to get himself together and told Steve that he would join the Avengers. Steve was glad as they were able to time travel. Logan would introduce himself as the last mutant to survive the blip. He would then join Nebula and James Rhodes to Morag to steal the Power Stone before Star-Lord did. Logan wanted to see the outer space of other planets and what they would look like. On Morag, everything would be the same, and Rhodes and Nebula attempted to return to their own timeline, but Nebula was incapacitated with her cybernetic implant link with their past self, allowing the 2014 Thanos to learn of his future self's success and the Avengers' attempts to undo it. 2014 Thanos sends 2014 Nebula forward in time to prepare for his arrival. Only Rhodes and Logan went back in time. Reuniting in the present, the Avengers placed the stones into the gauntlet that Stark and Banner and Rocket had built. Banner, having most of the resistance to the radiation, wields the gauntlet and reverses Thanos' snap. Meanwhile, 2014 Nebula impersonates her future self and uses the time machine to teleport 2014 Thanos and his warships to the present, which he uses to destroy the Avengers compound. Upon seeing that the Mad Titan himself has arrived, Logan vowed for revenge. He would do anything he could to bring back Mariko and Yukio. Thor, Stark, and Cap would then battle with Thanos, and Wolverine, who was already in a killing mode, decided to lunge onto the Mad Titan first. With his claws and being immortal, Wolverine felt that he had a better chance at fighting against Thanos. However, the ruthless Mad Titan was a formidable foe, and Wolverine, who hasn't fought in a battle in almost 5 years, was easily defeated by him. The Mad Mad Titan then commanded his armies to seize the Infinity Gauntlet, which was lying amongst the debris. A restored Stephen Strange arrives with the other sorcerers and the restored Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Ravengers, and the armies of Wakanda and Asgard to fight Thanos' army. Danvers also arrived and destroyed Thanos' warship, but Thanos overpowered her and seized the gauntlet. In the original timeline, Tony managed to retrieve the gauntlet first and trick Thanos. Tony would snap, ending Thanos and his armies. However, in this timeline, Logan would be the one who inflicted the final blow. Logan lunged onto Thanos as the Mad Titan was a little worn out from the fight with Captain Marvel. He then mustered his last strength and used his adamantium claws to chop Thanos' hand off that had the gauntlet on. Everyone watched in horror as Thanos groaned in pain. Logan then got the gauntlet before he placed it on himself. Logan, who had his claws broken in the process, wore the gauntlet. He told the others not to worry as he has a healing factor. Although his healing factor wasn't as strong as it used to be, he still had it with him. Wolverine then told Thanos that he finally gotten the revenge after all these years, and he snapped, causing Thanos' existence to cease to exist alongside his armies. Meanwhile, Logan himself and his entire body was charred, but his healing factor was slowly regenerating. The stones were still intact, but as a result, his adamantium claws broke after he chopped off Thanos' arm, and Tony would survive in this timeline and reunite with his family. Logan originally wanted to travel back in time as he was the only one capable of doing so, but Steve said that he would want to reunite with Peggy. Everything else would be similar in the Endgame timeline where Thor joins the Guardians and Valkyrie becomes the new ruler of Asgard. Logan reunited with Marikyo and Yukio and decided to marry Marikyo for good. He was still welcome to be part of the Avengers, however his healing powers started to decrease, and while his claws haven't completely healed, Logan started to show signs of aging just like in the 2017 Logan timeline. That is going to be it for this highly requested MCU fanfiction. For those who argue that Logan would not be able to pierce through Thanos, be sure to check out the dark edition of What If, newer Fantastic Four, where he did that feat indeed. That is going to be it, so if you guys did enjoy this MCU fanfiction where Wolverine was in Avengers Endgame, do make sure to request in the comments down below what other what ifs I should do. If you guys did enjoy this video, do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on so you and your friends are all up to date with the latest content. But anyways, as always guys, thanks for tuning in and have a fantastic day.